What is up, everyone? JD here. Hope you're doing well today. Got a new exclusive to check out with you. Let's jump into it. All right, we got a new one in today, the Appalachian Ridge Runner. This one is a traditional pocket knives exclusive. If you decide to pick any of these up, definitely use my links and code JD4EDC. I know it's a little confusing. He has different codes for different releases. This one here being his exclusive, meaning that he designed it as offering it directly, is why that JD4EDC discount code will work on that one. Let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, now we got it out of the box, out of the big box. We're going to get it out of the little box, take it out of the wrapper here. I've obviously been into this one since this is the review, but I do like to, because I feel like Austin does such a good job with the presentation. I definitely wanted to offer this one up to show you guys what it looked like and everything that came with it. Awesome job. There's a sticker that came with mine that matches it as well, and really like working with Austin, and I like a lot of what he offers over there on his website, so definitely go check him out. I do not think you'd be disappointed. As you can see here, we have a modern traditional with a lot of modern involved with it. I absolutely just, as soon as I saw that he had the fat carbon frost scales on here, had to have this one. It is a full-size premium knife, steel back spring with titanium scales and the fat carbon onlay, looking really good. Nice aggressive jimping. I know that that's one thing that he did update on a lot of his newer models, is that jimping on here. The back spring wrapping all the way around to limit exposure to the tip, and really good pull on that one. Now, it is a full-size knife. I do want to fully disclose that one. We'll do some size comparisons here in a little while just to show it, but it's got a nice teardrop shaped handle with a little scallop section here, and for me it lands perfect in between the middle finger and the ring finger. So nice positioning here, very hand filling. Just a full-size knife. Reminds me of something like a Buck 110, if you're familiar with that. That's kind of the vibes it gives me, as far as it being more of a full-sized slip joint, but with a lot more premium materials and arguably better build quality. I would definitely say, from my perspective, the build quality on this is outstanding. You got a nice S90V clip point blade here, hollow ground, very thin and slicey. I took it downstairs to cut with a little bit and get a feel for it. It absolutely had a fantastic edge from the factory. Went through the catalog paper just fine, no issues whatsoever. Very comfortable going through the cardboard, absolutely slicing through the cardboard with no issues whatsoever. I tested it on some denim as well, and it did well. Now, I will say, being that it is full size, if you have smaller hands, if you try to use in the pinch grip for detailed work, your results may vary. You may be back a little bit further, but the clip point worked well. I didn't have to angle up too high to use that for any sort of trace cut work. So for me, very nice performance on there. The action on here is really good as well. I mean, it's not even fully broken in, guys. I've spent maybe a week with this. Can you imagine once it breaks in what this is going to be like? Now, the talk on it is a little bit more muted. I think that has to do with the fact that it's a big, beefy knife that's definitely meant for more hard use, day-to-day work, especially if you live in an area where you can't have a locking knife. This is going to be amazing, right? It's going to really accomplish all your needs, allow you to carry a user or something that's going to work really well for you. Appalachian Ridge Runner here on the back. Don't mind that at all. I mean, it's kind of off the blade. There's not a whole lot of spot here that he could really put it on. I don't think, it would look good on the back spring, but that's just me personally. And then C. Reisner S90V, so not bad. Branding on the blade, which I know some people aren't going to like. To me, it's very minimal and back here. And again, this is a good looking premium knife that to me is built to be a user. Like, this is built to really dig into some work here. And I like that about this one. You got a lanyard post out in the back for those that like a lanyard. It would be purely decorative on this one because, truth be told, you really don't need it. Really hand filling again. I know I've mentioned that like 5 times already, but very hand filling, ambidextrous, going to work well for you. I would recommend the Art Company Rambler XL. Let me grab it real quick. Especially if you like to carry like a flashlight or a pen. It's going to fit right perfect in this. You're going to be able to drop it in the pocket. And then if you're like me, I still have, usually if I carry this, and this is going to be my full size, and I'm going to use this for something hard use, I might carry something a little bit lighter weight or smaller in the opposite pocket, or in the summertime, this will be all that I carry in one pocket, wallet in the other pocket. So it works really well for me. But our company has a bunch of different organizers where you can just do like a flashlight and your pocket knife, or you can just do a pen or a pry bar and your pocket knife. You don't have to load it out the way that I do, but USA made, excellent product. Yes, I'm plugging a little bit. No, I don't have any affiliate whatsoever. It's just a company that I've really liked. I have 3 variants of it to kind of color match my particular loadout, and I like that for this one. If not, definitely check out Traditional Pocket Knives. They definitely have a variety of slips that you can throw this in to help protect the knife and the materials on it from getting scarred up too much. But some people kind of like the snail trails and stuff like that. So really that's going to fall onto you. Dead center, the build quality on this, guys, is absolutely phenomenal. I am tempted while we have this out to throw a little bit of oil in it just to see if that does anything for me. I don't feel like it needs it. It's not broken in like some of my others, but my others I've had a little bit longer and I've fidgeted with them a little bit more, opened and closed them a little bit more. Let's do some size comparisons. We'll weigh the knife out to see where it comes in at, and then we'll wrap up. Final thoughts and impressions with the score for you on this one. Okay, so I did want to do a medium and a smaller sized pocket knife to give you an idea of how much the Appalachian Ridge Runner's size is going to be compared to these two. So the bug out is on the top. These are applied weapon tech scales, in case you didn't know or weren't familiar with why it looks the way that it does. And then the Vosteed Hedgehog, definitely a smaller knife for sure, as you can see in the hand. But again, wanted you to see really just that this is a full-size, like buck 110 size type pocket knife, going to be built for bigger carry, harder use, etc. Let's do a couple more. All right, so I have a couple of TPK exclusives on the table. On the top, we got the Ohio Riverjack, which to this point has been my favorite, more hard use slip joint, and my QSP Hedgehog, which again, definitely flexes into hard use, but I think this is a little bit more gent carry. Love both of these, but I wanted you to see because this is definitely more robust, 4 fingers for sure, and I can really use this to break it down, but it does have its limitations due to the fact that your jimping does, bring you a little bit into the blade path here, so you don't have quite as much belly depending on what it is that you might be cutting on. But I did want to share this with you to let you guys know the Hedgehog I've had probably the longest. I had the original Ohio Riverjack. This is the V2. So now this one's been the one that I've had in here the longest in my collection for modern traditional slip joints. Been my favorite to this date. And I don't know. Appalachian is very intriguing to me. Let me go ahead and grab the scale, weigh it out, and then we'll jump into it. Okay, we got the scale out. It is cutting on this again. Remember, full-size knife. You got titanium scales, fat carbon onlays, and a long S90V blade. So I'm expecting this to be a little bit over 4, maybe even 5 ounces. Wow. I am shocked that this is coming in at 3.7. I really thought this was going to be like 4.5, somewhere in that territory. Not that it feels heavy just because of the size. I assumed it was going to be a heavy knife. The fact that they're able to get this to you at under 4 ounces is really impressive. I am really shocked by that. Let's go ahead, get the scale out of here. We're going to go ahead and score and wrap up with final thoughts and impressions. All right, guys, let's go ahead and wrap up. I grade on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 the best, 1's the worst. Budget knives limited to 7 just because of materials. If it's budget steel and budget materials, it can't get any higher than a 7, and 7 would be an absolutely perfect budget knife. 10 would be an absolutely perfect knife in itself. Now, I understand that a slip joint is not going to be for everybody, right? A lot of people like locking knives. They like to be able to fidget with one hand. There's a lot of factors that go into that. So for me, I'm going to set that aside for this review. I have a couple that I've really enjoyed in the collection that I've had for a while. They've been a joy to use. They absolutely have performed phenomenally, and I like the look and the aesthetics and the way that they are built. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and give you the score and then talk a little bit about why. So again, remember 1 to 10. This one here coming in at a 7.8 for me, which is really high. I was a little surprised by this knife. When I got it, I didn't realize it was going to be quite this large, so I was kind of worried that I wasn't going to really like it. But I ended up using it, handling it for a little while, spending some time with it, and I'm going to be completely honest, the fat carbon frost really brings this up for me aesthetically. Like, it really appeals to me because of the fact that I love these black, blue, and whites on here. I think they're very pretty and they look really good, and they do, and you'll see them if you follow me on Instagram or any of the other social medias. You'll see where it actually matches up with my Quiet Carry 9. Now, the only thing that I do wish, I wish this was more spear point and or maybe sheep's foot, or that they had those blade options, because it would be a little bit of a better companion carry, because both those knives are clip points. But that's just like a personal wish. The jimping, very aggressive on the back. I would say they probably could have shrunk it down just a touch, something in between the size of these two as far as overall length, I think would have worked really, really well. Just because I can get all 4 fingers on here easily, and with this one here, there's a little bit left hanging out of the back. It's tough because I say that, but I've really come, this one's really broken in nicely. I've really come to appreciate the size of both. I love the extra grip, but look how much, with 4 fingers on here, just 4 fingers and a relaxed grip, I'm able to hide back behind the bolsters. So I think like shrinking this down a little bit would have been cool for me, but I mean, it's tough because honestly, in practice, I've actually really enjoyed it. It's been really nice to use. The lockup's great. The build quality is good. I can't remember what it was, a little stiff out of the box, but in the little bit of time that I've had it, it's really broken in nicely. I like the ergos. The shape is not offensive. Normally with slip joints, I either like a straight curve or to be, like a coffin shape or something like that. So this teardrop with the scallop, I wanted to see it in person to see if I really liked it, and it actually really makes it kind of nice to have just that little bit of kick right here to break up the neutral teardrop shape. The back spring is seamless on here. They, whoever his OE is, I'm pretty sure it's QSP, they are really dialing this in with each one. Just really good transitions and everything on it, and they're doing a good job with their S90V. I've noticed it requires very little maintenance, even when I'm using it to break down like a big box, ton of box, double wall cardboard, when I'm testing it on denim and stuff, just to see if it'll slide across or if it'll bite and go down into it. And the S90V is really biting into it, and then not super thin. That he left this hollow ground a little bit thicker compared to the Hedgehog. The Hedgehog's more slicey, believe it or not, but this is still really thin blade stock, and it is still really thin behind there. It's just got a little bit more beef around here in the middle, and again, I think that's to give it some toughness for those heavy duty tasks. You could probably do some gaming and stuff like that with this one, so I can definitely see this being hard use, outdoorsy, and still really good looking. I really like this one. It really spoke to me. If you're interested in this one, it's an easy recommendation to pick up. It is going to be full size, right? This would be your primary carry, in my opinion, and then whatever little knife you wanted to carry that was a flipper or something like that, like the Nice Guy or something, would be the companion knife. And you may want to just break this out to open and get into stuff, because you'll have it clipped and this in your pocket. But when you need to cut some straps, or gaming, or maybe you're out in the field or you're somewhere that you can't use a locking knife, or maybe you just like modern traditionals, I mean, there's a lot of positive here. So I'm really happy I got to check this out. Definitely support your boy Austin over at Traditional Pocket Knives. Great guy. Thank you for letting me check this one out, my dude. I appreciate it. I'll have TPK listed down below. Thanks for hanging out to this point of the video. I appreciate it, guys. If you enjoyed, definitely hit the like on your way out. If you're going to be doing any shopping outside of this one, definitely use those links. You guys have been amazing about using them. And definitely comment down below what you thought about the Appalachian Ridge Runner, or just say hey down in the comments. All of it helps the channel. So thanks for that. Special thank you to the channel members. I'm out of here. I'll catch you next time. Have a great week. Peace.